and welcome to Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage. I'm so glad you're here. This is the marriage seminar for people who hate marriage seminars. Hoo-ah! All right, I come here. I want to show you something. In no other area, men's brains and women's brains, do men and women think more differently than in this area of sex. And we'll get into it in a lot more detail tomorrow. But I want to show you something here that I think will be of great interest to you. Give my lovely assistant a hand. Now, sex is a pretty big issue, particularly for men. For us, our sexual interest peaks at about age 18 and then goes down from there. So if you were to chart it out, it would look like something like this. It peaks at about age 18 and then goes down. And then you're dead. Now, something's important for women to understand. When it comes to this area, we're no longer driven so much by our brains or by our hearts, but it's by a chemical. It's called testosterone. And it runs through our blood. It runs through our blood, and it drives us crazy. You just... If you girls knew how much this drove us crazy, you'd be more disgusted with us than you are right now. We downplay it, man. And this, I'm telling you, and as funny as this little chart is, and as true as it is for so many men, if for some reason as a man ages, his testosterone levels begin to decline, his interest in sex will start to decline. And if his testosterone level drops dramatically, his interest will go way down. Same head, same heart, same guy, and now he's not interested in sex. You treat that man, and it's very easy to do, with testosterone supplements, and boom, he's the same wild man you married. Same head, same heart, same guy. Now he's, come here, baby. All right? So this is not because we're sickos. It's not because we're perverts. It's not because we're broken. God wired us this way, and he did it on purpose. Well, what was that purpose? I'm going to show you in a minute, but you just need to really understand this. And the truth is, when we get this rush of testosterone, it just messes with us. Now, for the love of God, don't raise your hands. But most men will admit that we usually receive a testosterone rush, usually very early in the morning, and for no reason at all. Dun 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 dun. 10 hot. And it just wakes us up. Just we're not thinking about anything. All right? And that's usually when a man reaches over and whispers those 3 words every woman loves to hear. Hey, you wait. We'll be talking more about that tomorrow, okay? All right, so why does God wire men this way? Okay, now to explain this, I need to do an anatomy lesson. Okay, y'all okay? Hang on, Margaret, he's gonna draw pictures. It'll be okay. We'll keep it clean, okay? Now, we'll call this the girl's heart. And in the interest of keeping everything at least PG-13, we will refer to this as the place of happiness. I had a lady come up to me recently and she goes, "Man, I can't even go to Walmart anymore. Smiley faces all over the place." She's like, Now, at some fundamental level, this is every man's basic interest in a woman. It's true, it's true. Now, women say, "Well, that's terrible. There shouldn't be about that. It should be about companionship and fellowship and sharing." Girls, if your husband was interested in companionship, fellowship, and sharing, he'd have gotten a golden retriever. He's interested in this, and he's supposed to be. That's the way God wired men. But what men fail to understand is the key to this is this. And if a man successfully touches this, she gives him the green light, and now he can touch this. So the sex drive, guys, is God's way of constantly reminding a man, and it keeps coming back. It never stops, just. On average, a man will feel the need for sexual release on about every 72 hours. That's every 3 days. Some more, some less. My husband's every 72 minutes. But that's your problem. But anyway. But seriously, the reason that keeps coming back is to motivate the man, be nice to the girl. It's not so you can just go, "Hey, you like?" Are you hearing me? A lot of guys do that. As soon as they feel the buzz, they're just reaching for the girl. "Come here, baby. Come here. Come here." Don't be a moron. She won't want to come here. The reason that buzz hits you again, remember, be nice to the girl. 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 I gotta be nice to the girl. And this is what motivates me. I try to be nice to my wife. And I spend time with her, and I take her to lunch every day, and I'll take her shopping. And, "Well, Pastor Mark, do you like going shopping?" "No, I hate it." She drops me off at the bench with all the old guys, and I sleep with them. Then she comes, picks me up, drops me off at another bench. You say, "Well, if you don't like it, then why do you do it?" I'll tell you why. Because I want some of this. I'm no idiot. You got to be nice to the girl. You got to pay attention to the girl. And really, single women, I don't know, how many single women are watching this, but inevitably there's single women here, and that's great, and a lot will be watching this. But, when a woman gives a man this before marriage, she is a nitwit of astronomical proportions. You would never build a house and pay the contractor in advance. Are you hearing me? If you're gonna build a $250,000 house, and which here in Phoenix will get you a 1-bedroom with nothing. Man, I got a huge condo on a lake in Wisconsin for $250. Man, I'm telling you, here you got nothing. But anyway, You wouldn't pay the guy in advance and give him, here's the 250 grand. Do you know why? The house will never get done on time. He'll never do what he's promised to do. Why? Because it's just the nature of human beings. You pay them as they hit certain marks, certain things they accomplish, you finish it, you give them some more, and then you wait till everything's right, and then you close. Why? Because that's the way people are wired. If you were just to give it to them, you would be a nitwit, a moron. That's what women are doing today. They're coughing this up front, which is every man's basic fundamental interest in a woman. You've already given him everything he wants. And then they sit around and say, well, aren't you going to marry me? Aren't you going to spend more time with me? Aren't you going to... No, he's not. Why won't? Because you're an idiot. That's why. Don't do that. Give him that thing. You make that boy earn it. If there ain't no ring, you ain't getting the thing, is what you need to tell him. No, seriously, girl, I don't know what. There's something that really happened in the female culture. I think it's because of the women's lib thing, and they think, well, now we can go out and we can be as sexual as men and stuff like that. But they are fighting against their own interests. There are millions of women in America today that are so frustrated they can never get this. They can never get this. You know why? Because they're dumb. I'm serious. I don't mean it in a mean way, but they're doing a dumb thing, like just coughing this up to every guy that comes along, thinking this. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Now, every woman's basic interest in a man is this. What a lot of women fail to recognize is the key to this is this. And if you touch that, he gives you the green light, and you can touch this. So, but I thought you said women weren't supposed to do that. Outside of marriage, inside of marriage, you got to work it this way. Outside of marriage, you defeat yourself. But inside of marriage, you have to realize this is a very important deal. It is. It's huge. A lot of women treat this like it shouldn't, like a side issue. It is not a side issue in marriage. It is the central issue. It truly is. And I'm going to really explain this in greater detail tomorrow. You get this right, things will flow a lot better in your life. You try and discard this, oh, it shouldn't be about that. He shouldn't be interested in sex. He's just a pig. You are fighting now against your own interests doing it that way. You've got to be smart about this, girls. The key to this boy's heart, you know, they used to say when I was growing up that the key to a man's heart was his stomach, but they were about 6 inches too high. And this is important. I got to tell you, girls, if it weren't for this, we probably really wouldn't deal with y'all. Terrible, but I'm just telling you like it is. You know, you take that out of me, I don't think we'd go through the trouble, honestly. This is a game you got to let him know he can win with you. And we'll talk more about this in detail tomorrow. But the crazy thing about it, see, is the key to what you want, here's the door. And for the guys, for what you want, here's the door. And it is the perfect standoff. It is the ultimate standoff. People say, what was God thinking? People say it to me all the time. What was God? This is exactly what God was thinking. The key to you getting what you want is to give your spouse what they want. Now, it's not easy. And sometimes you'll mess up, but you got to constantly work for this. You can't all of a sudden disregard this. Some guys, they never pay attention to the girl. They're never nice to the girl and wonder how come they never get any sex. Oh, I never get any sex. How come? Because you're an idiot. I mean, for crying out loud, be nice to the girl. You've got to touch her heart. That's your key. But a lot of guys say, well, I told you I loved you once. If anything changes, I'll let you know. I wonder how come I'm not getting any sex. Well, because you're just blowing it. You're blowing it. And girls, same thing with you. The key to this is this area here. Don't dismiss this. If you guys will flow in this thing, it works and it's great and it's extremely powerful. It is the most powerful thing God ever designed to connect two people. And we'll get into it in a lot more detail tomorrow.